So we start. Hi, my name is Essie, and I'm very glad to be here today. And I have put together this presentation. And look at it as I'm not an employee or part of this company holding shares. Look at it as a lady who has 2 little kids and had a job and a half. Because I had a full-time job as selling homes for almost 9 years. And before that, I was selling mortgages. So I've been in sales service area for a long time. And I got introduced to this product by my family member, my mother-in-law. And she actually retired pretty young, very successfully. And she said, my friend just started this business. So if you just go and purchase a few items, that will really help her. I'm pretty sure that'll help her. That's how all it started. But she added this one line. She said, I heard this business plan for like 2 minutes. I'm not exactly sure, but it seems like there's nothing to lose, but there's something about this. Look into it. If she didn't tell me that, then I probably just ended up just being a consumer and never really got to know what this company has to offer. So since I have that much respect towards that sense, in business sense, so I go and I should do my research, a quick research. The first thing I did was Atomi product reviews, and then I realized this is some sort of form of network marketing, direct sales, and then I got a little scared because I know from back home my family has a couple of members who are unfortunate enough to go through really bad experiences. So I was curious. So how do this structure of direct sales get people to think almost nonsense to do this? So my research was really focused on Atomi scam, Atomi bad experiences. I'm very, very skeptical, and of course you don't want to really get into anything you're not really sure of. So I did that for 1 week, and then I called my family friend, who's my mother-in-law's friend. I said, is there a business seminar? Because I was thinking, if anything, I want to try a few products. And she said, yes, come on, and I ordered just a couple of things first. And that's 2.5 years ago, being a consumer. And I just want to share that journey with you. So think of this presentation from not an employee, but from a woman who actually looked into this 2.5 years ago as a consumer. And in fact, a year later, I shipped myself to Korea. I never was apart from my kids for more than 12 hours, because the little one is only 4 now. So back then she was barely 2. And then a year later, started very small, but having all these new partners, getting really serious about the business. And then now I came to a point where I really need to know this properly. So I really flew myself to Korea last year, came back, and I parked my license for real estate. So we're just talking just before. So that really, I think that's the start of a full-time doing this. And I have my own list of questions that I had for myself and towards the company, and this is exactly it. So company profile. So it's like you investing your money or time, and you want to know what the company is about, of course. And product. Product came to me first, and to me it was made in Korea product, but the price was almost ridiculous because I can only probably go and buy a couple of items from the Korean store because it probably costs as much as the whole set costs here. So it's adverse in fact. So I was looking at the cheaper products, and then your mind's thinking that can't be any good. So I saw this product a long time ago until my mother-in-law came in the picture. So when I tried a product, my mind was very clear. If I like it, if it works for my really extremely dry skin, that I know a lot of my friends with dry skin, they will share. So it started really simple, and compensation plan was, how do people get into the pitfall of losing money? How? Like, how does it happen? So where the money comes from and how it's distributed is very important. And system, as a real estate agent, I went through 3 different companies. The first one was Home Life, the second one was Remax, and I went to Ride at Home. That was the very last one. But they all have system. They all have support system. But then again, at Remax, I was paying $1,300 a month desk fee. Even if you don't make any sales, you're still paying at $1,300. And then you pay a cut of every single deal you had. and then the second one, they all have different systems. But system by here, from what I understand, is we're almost like we're self-employed, but we kind of walk into a place where the system is somewhat very completed. So it's not some seminars they throw out and hope you attend. Because it was like that with my real estate. And I never really attended more than a couple. And system here is more of a support system as a teamwork, that people are actually willing to share your secrets, your 3 secrets per se. But out there, you go out anywhere, you go to a good restaurant, or you even go to a good agent, it's going to be very hard for them to really share your thoughts and your experiences, and there are a ton of people who will actually do that. And we're not all in we're in one big group, but we're not exactly in the same group, but nobody here really minds about sharing their experience and tips, anything that would help one to come along, and there's a reason for it. It's all built in a compensation plan. So let me share. And vision, of course. They talk about residual income, meaning pension-like income. So any network marketing company will talk about pension-like income, residual income, meaning it's like pension, you work, and then you retire, and they will pay you, 3 generations down. But then you want to be sure if the company is going to stick around. If it's going to be around for more than a few years, that's the part of the vision. So I do this type of reality check even now because my time is very valuable. I put on my red lipstick and I jumped on my high heels, but just an hour ago I was cooking bulgogi for my kids and I'm sweaty. You know, we have a lot on our plate, and our time for every single person here is very valuable. You'd rather spend with your family or have another job and make more money. So yes, this list, I hope that's something that everyone can relate to. So, business concept. I have a small experience for 6 months while I was trying to make the transition from becoming full-time real estate and then have a second baby, so then I'm always part-time. And then before I went back, I always said, okay, working around the clock, I love the job, it's really fun, but it's really hard that you're not able to go grocery shopping with your kids over the weekend. I don't remember going to Galleria, H Mart over the weekend. My phone's always strapped to my head. So you always think before you go back to work, you're like, is there something else I can do to kind of prolong this time with the baby? So what I tried is I had a friend, one of my best friends in Korea, and he manufactured those cell phone cases. So he's like, you know, I'll take a few boxes and try to sell it somewhere in Canada. I'm like, I don't know nothing about distribution. He said, it's okay, just, upload some pictures on your blog and, okay. My husband helped me out a little bit, so I tried to do that and it was all fun. But after 6 months, I scrapped everything because even now, that was almost 3-4 years ago, I still have cell phone cases for S3 and iPhone 5, and I still have hundreds. I didn't lose any money, but I didn't make any money. And all the hours put in with the baby on my back, I was like, you know what? And I knew exactly why. Made in Korea stuff, products are pretty good quality. But then again, a small timer like me, I was maybe buying just 5 boxes, 10 boxes at a time. That's all the cash that I had. So maybe I'll buy a case for $5.30. I remember it was $5.30 for a plastic case, and I'll sell it for $15. And have some friends in the industry, so they'll buy a box or 2, but they never rebought because I knew you just go to the next guy. They're getting things from another country for maybe $3, $2 easy. But plastic case, there's not much. Like how superior can it be? I don't really know. So they were really nice enough to do that, but there was no repeat purchase. And then I realized another thing. Same supplier, my friend, he said, get it to US market. I'm like, dude, you're asking for too much. He goes out and gets a buyer himself. It was one of those overstocked online shopping place. So he gets a deal. So the same case that I bought for $5.30, they will buy a container full. So same case, I'm pretty sure they're buying it for maybe $1, maybe 50 cents. I said, you know what, that's it. There's no way I can survive through this. But the 6 months of experience, if I didn't have that, if I looked at this picture, it's like, I'll talk about the obvious, right? So securing the product at a low price and sell it high, that's the distribution, that's the principle of it. And I try to make more. And then I understood, told me, like 10 cents because they have like 600 million of members buying. As soon as that case, cell phone case, comes on a Tomy online website, then you know people will be buying. So Tomy has its members more than 6 million now. 6 million. So they're probably buying it at 10 cents. And do they sell it at $15 I did? No. What they do is they buy it at 10 and they sell it at 11 cents. That's what Tomy does. So when I understood that, I got this wow. You know what? Forget this. I keep this so fast. I was giving out the cases because I knew this company is basically like collecting the membership and increase the buying power. They buy really good product at a ridiculous price. As a consumer, I'm not losing anything. So I went to the seminar and I said, okay, I want to buy, maybe if I buy more, I can buy cheaper, then I can make some margin. Then maybe I can pay for my children's daycare, then I can go back to work. That was my plan. So I called my sponsor and she said, yeah, there's one on Friday. So I walked myself there. But with my guards like super high. So I'm just here to get the information. I'm not gonna buy anything or like they can't do anything to me because I was just like a little nervous. But this is what I heard. Just talking about the choices that we make. How they do that. So I thought it was just the buying power. There's more to that. Because in buying power, anybody can copy that structure, right? So this really caught my attention. So Tomy, it's a company that only distributes, right? That's what I used to do. But they get their source from Walmart B&H. So 2 flagship products from Walmart B&H. They have the permanent exclusive sales rights to those 2, Hemohim and Skincare 6. Those are our original main products, right? So what they do is Walmart produces them, but what? How is it different? It's the very first research enterprise in Korea. That was like, research, enterprise. Put together, what does that mean? Very first company in Korea that's part public and part private. They had to tweak around a few laws to get to that point. So they have their technology actually from both Kerry and Walmart, and actually quite a bit of funding from Walmart Korea to have this venture company set up. So a lot of their research and development, because I know my best friend still works at one of those prestigious high-end cosmetic company, and she's a chemist there. And I remember years back, she said, you know what, you can buy your clothes from anywhere, but don't buy anything cheap. Don't buy cheap cosmetics. That means it's not tested properly. Because she's the one who gets paid for testing. She said the price you pay, a big portion of it is for research and development. So you pay for what you get. You get what you get. And what? The big portion is taken care of by Kerry and Walmart already. So I figure, out of $100, because I used to buy this brown bottle from their company, and for my mom and for my mother-in-law, because sometimes she gives out those tickets for the warehouse sales, and they actually sell it at half the price. And they limit 4 bottles per person. So I'll buy 4, and then it's like $75, and it's still a little. You put just a little bit of the eye cream or a scent. But as a matter of fact, out of that $150 regular price, a good chunk, maybe 30% goes to research and development, another 30 to 40 for overheads, like advertising and everything else. So at the end of the day, we had a news article saying that the very bottle I was buying for $75 and I was pretty happy about, the custom price is just under $6. And the rumor has it, the bottle costs about $4. So there's so many middlemen in the middle and you're paying everyone out of your pocket. I'm like, wow. At least now I know. Because it's one of those things that you buy from duty free, like when you ever fly and you gift. But if that's true, then a lot of things are taken care of. That's how they manage the low price and they don't waste money on their packaging or anything. You look at the packaging. I like it, it's humble, and they don't waste anything for this unless you grind up the bottle and you put it on your face. They don't use their money on samples or their packaging. solely goes towards the product. So that is another reason for the price and the quality. So Hallmark Korea is the private part, is the mommy, and Hallmark USA is just under 100 years. So they're OEM company, the second largest in the world, and what they do is they produce cosmetics, but they never sell to end users. They don't have their own brand. But what they do is they take the recipe from any like Essie1, Chanel, call it Estee Lauder, and they have a certain product they like to produce. Then they'll take the recipe and make it, and then they label it with them, and then send it back to Essie1 and they can sell it. So that's what OEM and ODM do. And if they're able to stick around for almost 100 years, then you know, they know what they're doing. So Hallmark Korea is one of the very active Hallmarks. You see, Hallmark Korea. And we know for a fact, you see the resemblance where Atomi's is spreading out to? It's very easy. How Hallmark Korea, they say about half of the profit shared with Hallmark Japan, and half of that with Hallmark USA. So a small company like Atomi and their products made it into US within the first year, then you know it's already set up in the infrastructure. So they made it very easy like that. And Kerry was the public part of it. So Korean Atomic Research Institute. They do work on nuclear, atomic, radiator, but if you look at the logo, you get the idea. They actually produce more than 50% of electricity used in Korea. So they do that. Also, they have a department called Radiation Fusion Technology. They work on better grains that a lot of Koreans consume. Better rice, better grains, better plants. So a lot of things that's really closely linked to your daily life. And just an example of what type of, like how level of the technology is. So you see, with the Korean lady there, she's the very first female astronaut making it to space. And when she went there, she was able to take her favorite instant noodles and some kimchi and seaweed, everything Korean. So what happened? There are only 3 countries in the whole world that's licensed to produce space rockets: US, Russia, and the third is Korea. So I remember he was having a speech on this and he was really proud. Like in Japan and Germany didn't get there, we got there first. So that's just the level of technology that Kerry deals with. And he's actually the mastermind behind our Him and Skincare 6 sets. Many, many patents attached. So Hallmark Danish is the baby and started really small. And they said they started off with $2.3 million. So you just go across the street from here, there's easily houses listed more than 2.3, many of them, right? So a house cost that much, but the company started so small. That was 11 years ago. And when I went to Korea last year, on the same month, it was coincidence. We're looking at this clip that's linked. We're all posting. What happened? The company gets listed on Kosdaq. It's equivalent to NASDAQ in Korea for over $1 billion. They talk about future value of the company. The future value of this company right now is 1,470 times. And this is a news clip, a capture. And what it is, we don't advertise. We don't advertise. We're a direct-sales company. But we have Atomi products, skincare, and everything at the back showing because we have just around 90%. 90% of Hallmark Danish products we distribute. So they're saying how this was fueled by Atomi. They're producing Him and Skincare 6 for Atomi, and they're doing excellent sales. And as you might have caught from the video clip earlier, we're doing pretty good. So just about 50% every year growing. Did you catch that? And we export and we keep winning those presidential power for 20 million last year. They're calling for 50 million next year. When it's 100 million, then it's no news anymore. Then people will not waste time. It's just a thing of, there's something I need to watch out. But now, just 2 years ago, it was a different picture. But now I see a much improved, and in fact, in Korea, it's exploding. It's exploding. So what's Him? Not just to explain the product itself, this is cream of crop when it comes to Harry's and Comar B&H's technology meets Atomi's products. What does that mean? Who has ever even heard of it? Who hasn't heard of it? You all tried it? Have you tried it? No? For me, when I actually bought my first box, I never really had a budget for supplements, period. Because I was pretty healthy, and it's vitamins are something that you actually spend money on when you have everything else. That's what it was like in my early 30s. But after my second birth, I was rushed to emergency just a week later. The delivery was fine, but some little complication happened. So I got rushed to emergency, and I came out fine. But since that day, actually one of my best friends came to see me at the hospital, and she cried because I was so swollen that my glasses were like up in the air, and I wasn't even that swollen after birth. But that complication, literally, it was nothing surgical or anything, but my mind was destroyed. Like, you get traumatized from that experience, because I was telling my friend today, it's one of those really scariest moments, because you lose so much blood, and they checked my hemoglobin, they said, oh, you're fine. I'm like, okay, I feel really weak, and then I collapsed in the waiting room, in the emergency, and then I had my eyes wide open, but I couldn't see, and I could hear my husband around, and I can't really make out what he's saying, so I'm like, wow, so this is how you die? No, because you feel like you're alive, but you can't see anything. And then I'm like, oh, crap. And then my husband keeps talking to me, and he's trying to keep me awake or not. And then he goes, think of Audrey and Naomi. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, she's just a week old. I just gave birth, and she was only 1 week. So I burst into crying, and that's how I came back conscious again. Since that day, I developed all kinds of allergy, like cat allergy and dog allergy, and the worst was sinus. I never do the people with sinus allergy. They just sound a little annoying because they're always, blowing their nose and throwing it anywhere. So I had no sympathy for that. I'm really bad for my husband because he has all this seasonal allergy, and I'm like, just pop those pills and, give yourself a break. He's like, no, I'm going to be too drugged up. Now I fully understand because I never had it. I had it for 2.5 years. It was the worst thing. People don't think too much of it because everyone has it. But for me,